And now for our feature presentation.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Thunder and Lightning Gaming. I'm Thunder. Lightning is on his way. He's in the room with me, but we have a little bit of a janky set. Oh, it's fine. You're good. You're good. You're good. They know. We're good. I'm Thunder.
And I'm Lightning.
The cable company fucked over my internet, so we're here doing basically what we were going to do at my house anyways, but with a beautifully constructed last minute setup with no slideshow and all that. So
Okay, I'm fucking all you people who aren't watching on it because you check Instagram for updates. Hold on a second.
Oh, so you're openly talking to nobody right now.
Essentially.
I am gonna have it on my phone. If only I knew how to do that.
Have stream on your phone?
Yeah, if only I was already doing it. That'd be crazy, right? Okay, click this. Oh, well, they changed the whole app again. That's great.
Yeah.
Cool. New location, well, temporarily. not
for today.
Just for today, and hopefully just for today. Hopefully by the time I get home, the internet is back. That's what it sounds like is going to happen.
We are at my house, though.
Yes.
And if you want to take an intimate look at a little bit of my Marvel Legends figure collection, check out our Instagram post. I'm proud of it.
This exact spot recently seen in our latest YouTube video.
Oh, yeah.
Well, not our latest, because I did upload it's kind of a hectic couple hours, but that did get uploaded, right? Oh, yeah. The first episode of our tabletop podcast is live
that's exciting.
As of 1 hour ago today.
Look at these fucking idiots.
Yeah. What did we do? Oh, yeah, there they are. There we are. Am I much shorter than you? No, right?
Yeah.
When we stand up, too?
Yeah, way fucking shorter than me.
Oh, okay. I think you're trolling based on I think we're about... Oh, no, I opened a Halloween soundboard. I'm pretty sure we're about the same size. I do want to repost this on.
Get rewards by purchasing or gifting subscriptions to the channel.
But you are the channel.
View details.
Okay, yeah, let's hear them out. Maybe they
3 months. Buy one new sub, get 3 months of Apple TV. No, this is starting to sound a little scammy.
Wait,
starting to sound a little scammy, guys. Make sure you watch out.
If you got
This is weird having you right next to me.
I know. If you got 3 months free of Apple TV, but you had to buy one sub, what kind of sub would you get? You have to pay full price for the sub, but it could be any flavor you want.
Roast beef.
Yeah.
North Shore style roast beef, yeah.
What's the difference?
Oh, man, that's for another podcast.
Okay. Today we are going to be spoiling the new Deadpool and Wolverine movie. So if you have not seen it,
please walk away
and mute.
Watch it later after you go see the movie, or mute if you want to help. If you want to give us some support, you can always mute.
But we're going to talk about that, and then afterwards we're going to discuss the recent Comic-Con news, San Diego Comic-Con happenings, and everything having to do with Dr. Doom and all that. But real quick, just because we don't have the proper overlay, we do have bits and channel rewards that you can look out for. Mm-hmm. We have new emotes, and I just posted our links in chat, which take you to everything we do. Going to take out my earbud, will the text change when the topic changes?
Oh, geez, you see,
no, because
Languel?
I put them both in the
We're really roughing it today. But you know what? We are in the process of making a new layout for this podcast anyways. We were
I
kinda
was
discussing.
gonna do it, with the last hour or so, but I was
But you know what, though?
trying to figure out the internet and then decided that it wasn't gonna happen.
We could add that.
Add-
Spoilers for...
I was
Apparently.
literally
Yeah.
gonna do that.
So-
but
Next episode should have all fresh stuff. Also, if we don't acknowledge if anybody follows or anything like that for this one, that's because we can't hear anything.
We should be able to. We'll see it right here.
Oh, true. All
So
right.
yes, this for the first time in a while is our movie and TV podcast, Cinematic Relief, where we review movies and stuff. And this podcast very intentionally is going to be whenever we feel like it, basically. But whenever a new high-profile movie comes out and we happen to see it, and it won't just be Marvel, I promise.
Yeah. I'm sure the last 4 episodes are, but we promise it won't just be Marvel.
So spoilers are going to start very soon. So if you don't want to hear them, kindly leave or mute or whatever you have to do. But we are going to get into it. And I would like to, I was thinking about this beforehand. I would like to ask you, Chris, because we usually do this at the very end, but I'm curious. What is your rating for this movie out of 5?
So we do out of 5. 4.6.
Interesting, because I was going to also say right around there as well.
That's cool.
It takes a lot. I don't dish out perfect 5s, for nothing. Movies really gonna make me feel something.
Yeah.
For it to get the perfect 5. I think Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is a perfect 5. I think
that movie kicked ass. I don't know if I would give it a perfect 5, but it is up there. I think I'm a bit tougher than you when it comes to ratings, though.
Sure. Yeah.
So before we get into spoilers, particularly, did we want to talk about favorite moments?
Favorite moments,
Which
I think,
could also lead to some spoilers.
I think my favorite moment might be a huge spoiler.
Okay.
But what was your favorite moment?
So the one that the part that keeps sticking to me. So there's a character called Nice Pool. It's Ryan Reynolds.
Yes, yeah.
Perfect ass face with long hair.
It's the character from all the Marvel Strike Force ads on Instagram that I didn't realize was a spoiler for this movie.
Oh shit. I've seen that.
Yeah. All the comments are like, "Who is this fucking loser? That's not Deadpool." And I get it now.
My favorite part is his death scene. And it's not because he dies. I didn't mind Nice Pool. I thought he was cool. But I just love the build-up. I love that I knew it was going to happen. And I was curious the whole movie, too, because I was like, well, he's going to have regenerative powers, because why wouldn't he?
Right.
But no, he doesn't.
That was a cool twist. It was also really cool. He was a really interesting, foil for Deadpool.
He had everything Deadpool wanted.
Right. And you don't usually get that with the Deadpool character.
Right.
So I did appreciate that.
Another thing I do want to mention while we're just talking, I famously dislike the Wolverine mask.
I figured we'd get into this eventually.
Sorry, what was your favorite moment?
It's Blade. My favorite moment was Blade. Because I truly didn't expect it. Every other cameo, you and I have talked about this already. Every other cameo, I either expected or was like, yeah, that makes sense.
That
crazy one
to me
was
that you expect. So there was one big cameo that it caught me very much so by surprise, and that was Chris Evans, but not as Captain America, but as fucking
Human Torch.
Human Torch. I was trying to think of his character.
Johnny Storm.
Johnny Storm.
So I completely figured that would happen. It's just the trailer for this movie made it very clear that the movie was going to be about all of these X-Men / Marvel characters that we either are from failed projects or from projects that completely didn't make it or projects that aren't worked on anymore. So we knew Elektra was going to be in this movie. That was hard confirmed a few months ago.
We just got in chat that
I was so hyped to see the lady cameo who was with...
I think that was a spoiler-free attempt.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, for a split second I was like, if you're so hyped about it...
Well, if anybody's in chat.
Yeah.
Although you did just throw down that Blade was there. I appreciate the attempt, but Blade is also a spoiler.
No, she was great, and the thing about her is that she's she is. If there's going to be a Daredevil movie, or TV show, it's always going to have her in it, right? So she was playing opposite Ben Affleck as Daredevil. She got her own Elektra movie. It was garbage. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
No.
It's one of the worst movies I've ever seen. It's absolutely terrible. So it's stuff like that, where it's like, those old Fantastic Four movies were kind of a financial flop. The Channing Tatum Gambit movie that was scheduled never came out, so that's why he's there. All the ancillary X-Men characters who weren't really never made it past Azazel and Lady Deathstrike, and Pyro was pretty cool. Pyro was the most main character, I think, of the X-Men to show up, and he actually had a role in the movie and stuff. But just a lot of those cameos were just oh yeah, that's right. It's this guy.
Yeah.
But I fully did not expect Blade because the Blade trilogy, concluded, There's 3 Blade movies. They're making a new Blade with a new actor who's not Wesley Snipes. Wesley Snipes and Ryan Reynolds famously hate each other. It's an ongoing bit for last 20 years. They've hated each other. Ryan Reynolds is actually in Blade 2 and 3.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's why this happened, because they already knew each other from that.
Well, I just read today that Ryan Reynolds, the whole Blade thing happened because Ryan Reynolds randomly called Wesley Snipes.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Oh, and I saw an interview with Wesley Snipes where he was like, oh, I got a text from Ryan Reynolds, and he was like, and I was like, I hate this guy.
That was cool, though. That was cool to see them. Channing Tatum was a little weird.
I think that was intentional, though.
No, well, it definitely was because they poke fun at it, but he was particularly off his game.
But when he got into combat, it was perfect.
Yeah,
it was absolutely what we all wanted from Gambit the first time. Because at the beginning of the movie, when he's going through all these different maybe I'll get this Wolverine, maybe I'll get this Wolverine.
That was also a really good scene.
Yes, that was a great scene. We could talk about that more in a bit. But in the trailer, they showed Patch. The character's name is Patch. He's a multiverse variant of Wolverine who wears a white suit and the eye patch. And we were all theorizing, oh, he's playing poker. We thought he was going to be a bigger part of the film. So we were like, oh, he's playing poker. I bet the dealer is Gambit, but it's not going to be Taylor Kitsch. It's going to be Channing Tatum. Turns out that wasn't the case. Channing Tatum was still in the movie, though.
Yeah,
which is really cool.
Yeah.
And we got the Calvolrine, as he's called, in I think maybe one of the coolest parts of the whole film, because it was a multi-referential bit. Because you have him
the montage of trying to find the
no, I mean when Henry Cavill showed up.
Right. Well, isn't that part of it?
Yes,
the montage.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
But specifically,
specifically
the Henry Cavill part was very cool because that's an actor that everyone, like John Krasinski, that's an actor who everyone wants to play Wolverine. He's probably not going to. So that was this way's movie of being
I don't think he particularly looked like Wolverine.
No, I mean he didn't. He looked like Henry Cavill in costume. I don't know how else to say it. But so people want him to do that. He's not going to do that. But multiverse, have him do it this time.
Right.
Hey, we gave you what you wanted. Now, same thing with John.
Now shut the fuck up.
Exactly. Same thing with John Krasinski. They were like, we know you want him as Mr. Fantastic. He's not going to do that. Here he is as Mr. Fantastic. Now it's going to be Pedro Pascal. So just ignore him. And then he did that. I don't know if you noticed this, but he loaded his fists he does in the Mission Impossible meme.
Yeah, that thing that you and I are both like.
He cocked his fists and the blades come out. And it was really cool. I really liked that part.
I liked comic book accurate Wolverine, the very first one.
Yeah, when he's like, didn't you fight the Hulk? Dressed like this?
No. The one who's just
Oh, the super short
quite
one.
stout.
Yeah. That was fun too. There's a lot of
Well, I just saw today all the like movie screenshots versus the comic book cover.
Oh, that's
that they
cool.
Came from.
Nice.
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool to see them all.
Yeah.
That was a cool scene. I want to talk about the helmet.
Yes, go for it. I think you should first elucidate us on what you don't like about the costume in the first place. Like going into this movie, what are your feelings towards the costume? Because I know you have quite a bit.
Well, I don't. So here's the deal, right? Because I don't want to piss off a bunch of comic book heads.
Give your opinion.
Because
I'm pretty sure you and I disagree on this opinion as well.
Well, I have no issues with how comic books portray their characters, especially in the 80s, especially when realism in that form of media wasn't a thing. Now that we're getting into an age, or have been in an age, where I was going to show you how to do it, you know how to do it.
Yeah.
Now that we're getting into an age where realism is such a part of, for me at least, what gets me into the movie, some of the comic book accurate suits, I'm like, no fucking human
of course,
is ever going to wear this piece of shit.
Like you've seen Hawkeye's comic outfit, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it's crazy.
Why would you
ridiculous.
Wear that? Yeah. No, exactly my point. You can get the colors, you can make reference to
and they
it,
do.
And that's phenomenal. And I appreciate that, and I think that's a good homage. But whenever you bring a character whose suit is just obnoxious onto the screen, it's like, okay, we could have not done that. And I think Wolverine is a perfect example of that. And I have a few reasons why. I don't care for the flare on his helmet, specifically. That is the number one thing I dislike about his helmet. Yeah. It brings nothing to the table. And here's the thing, it's a hat on a hat, because when he takes the helmet off, his fucking hair does that shit anyways.
Not in the comics, though. In the movies. His hair does that in the movies because they weren't going to do the helmet. You know what I mean?
He does it sometimes. He's pretty scraggly in the comics underneath. Not all the time.
Right, but the fact that his hair, like, comes out to a point was their way of being like, well, we're not going to do the helmet, so we'll do the thing with the hair.
Sure, fair enough. I still don't like it. It doesn't do anything. Like, he puts that mask on, and you want to eat that?
No, I thought it was butter. It is chocolate, I think, but
it is chocolate.
But I don't want to consume it.
It doesn't do. This doesn't do anything.
No,
and it doesn't. It doesn't particularly look like a badger or a Wolverine.
Right.
What he's fucking based off of.
Right.
I don't understand the yellow necessarily. I guess X-Men use yellow occasionally, but he's yellow and blue. Also, not the colors of Wolverine is.
Well, the yellow, yeah, the color scheme, I will only defend by saying, like, the color scheme. If you look at all of them standing next to each other, his color scheme was supposed to, like,
fits in with the palette.
Yeah. Not just the overall palette, but, like, yeah, there's a lot of color theory, like, video essays about, like, comic book artists and stuff. And I think the fact that the X-Men have, like, very flamboyant, very bright, shining, like, colors is, like, very intentional.
Sure. Another thing, not something except for the fact that he is forced into that suit, I don't picture that character desiring that suit, which does get brought up in the movie.
Right.
Which I do appreciate. I just don't particularly care for his comic book accurate suit. However, it looked fucking great.
Well, yeah, so here's the thing, right? Because it's not just, look at us, we're the MCU, we put character in comic accurate outfit. It's the fact that for 20 plus years, with this character specifically, people have been like, are you ever going to put him in the outfit? And they, for one reason or another, and I don't necessarily even disagree with this choice, they just refuse to do it. They even had the costume. They even had the costume in the movie at one point, and they cut that part out at the end of the Wolverine, the one where he goes to Japan. Kimio or whatever her name is opens a case. It's like, look, here it is. It's supposed to be like a Easter egg or whatever. But they cut that. So there's just this huge disconnect between, like, what he's supposed to look like and what he has looked like for on
I think
screen
it's
for the past.
the realism factor.
No, it
Nobody
absolutely
would wear that.
No, absolutely. It absolutely is. But I think if there was ever a movie
It's gone.
for them to be like, well, we've got to do it, it's going to be this one, the one that's kind of silly, the one that deals with a multiverse version of him. So it's not the
the placement, them pulling the trigger this time, I'm not upset with because they did it and they did it pretty tastefully, and they even gave reason as to
because
why
he
it's
was wasn't he like I never wanted to wear it.
No,
because fuck
right.
these stupid colors, but I wear it because it reminds me of the failure that I am or whatever.
Essentially.
It also, and I don't know if the person who originally designed Wolverine was thinking about this, the Deadpool costume and the Wolverine costume contrast each other like color-wise, like almost perfectly.
All over, and even our social media is now using the color contrast. But no, it's a great crossover. The color scheme is perfect. But also they matched his eyes, and I guess why else would you do it any other way? But this whole time I'm sitting here talking about how I hate comic book accurate costumes. Deadpool has had essentially nothing but since his first movie.
Right. There's a brief scene in the first movie, I just watched it, where there's like a montage, and for like one scene of the montage, he has a shitty like Spider-Man style, like I made the outfit myself. But other than that, it's just been this. It's gotten redder. It's definitely more red in this one than it was in the...
This one is probably the most comic book accurate.
Yeah.
And I think they brightened up the red to contrast the yellow.
But they also explain that too. It's not his outfit. It's the TVA's version of his outfit.
Right.
So they even went out of their way to do that. So my question for you, because I
still want to put a cap on the outfit.
It's about the outfit. My question for you, my biggest question for you, my friend Chris, who I know doesn't like the.
Oh, we crashed.
We crashed.
That hasn't happened in forever.
Nope, we didn't.
I mean, I don't see. How do you?
Live. We're live. It says we're live right here. The time's still going. I don't think we crashed. I can get up and check if you want, but I think we're good. No, we didn't crash.
Yeah, it's still going over there. Oh yeah, we're still going over here. That's so weird. Why did it do that? Okay, never mind.
We're good.
Never mind.
We're good.
Your biggest question for me.
There's a huge moment in this movie where he finally, after 20-ish years, he puts the mask part of it on, and he fights for a while with the outfit with the mask on. What did you think of that moment? What did you think of the mask in that moment, I guess, is my question.
I definitely had an eye roll moment for a second. However, I thought it looked phenomenal, and I thought it really matched well with the you guys are good on my end. Okay, cool. Thank you. I thought it looked really good. For whatever reason, the way they did Deadpool's the white of his costume, the eye piece of his costume looks really well, and it no mask would really work this way, but it like moves with emotion, which you kind of need. And I don't know why I expected anything different, but they did that with Wolverine. And it looked perfect. I will say, still am not a big fan of the headpiece.
Right.
But I thought it looked good.
No, I
do have one other thing I want to say.
Go for it.
He when he first pulls it over, you can, I don't know if you noticed this, but you can totally tell it's a different mask than the one that they use for the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
Because like the ears are like kind of flopping down. It's a split second.
Yeah.
You can tell that one was made to do this,
and then
the
absolutely.
Yeah.
No, I really appreciated that moment because so here's the thing, right? If Deadpool and Wolverine starts, he does the whole looking for Wolverine thing. He finally finds Wolverine, and then they get to the negative zone or whatever it's called, and he's like, let's go. And then he has it on the whole movie. I think that would be a little much even for me. Yeah. But the fact that it was just like this whole back and forth of like they're fighting, they hate each other, he doesn't want to fight, he doesn't want to be here, they're doing it, they have to fight. I've come to terms with the fact that I have to be Wolverine for this movie, essentially. Let me put the mask on. We're going to do one fight. they did the poses. They did the famous poses. And our theater, I think that was the loudest our theater got, was when they jumped out of the car and did the poses.
That was cool.
Because I was fucking popping off. That he's never done that. That's Wolverine's thing.
Yeah.
That's like that. That's just like all. He's never done it before, and he finally did it. And it happened right when they got it in under the because he's not going to play Wolverine again.
Right.
In theory,
not according to Deadpool.
Obviously, we haven't gotten a hard confirmation on that, but that's the whole vibe.
Kevin Feige said that.
Beautiful.
He will be recast.
Oh, good, because
they haven't said when.
Right. No, I don't expect.
They haven't made a promise that next time we see Deadpool, it won't be Hugh Jackman.
Right.
But he did say he will be recast eventually.
No, I think that's for the better. I think that if this is truly them being like, and they haven't said this, but I have a feeling if this is them being like, okay, and we're done now, everyone's going to be recast. It's just okay.
Well, I mean, that's if we can talk about the end of this movie for a minute. One of the after the credit scenes is literally just a funeral.
That was great.
For the Fox X-Men.
So you and I, well, not just Fox X-Men.
It was the Fantastic Four.
Both Fantastic Fours and Daredevil and Elektra were all in there. No, you and I, because you've never seen a single X-Men movie other than Deadpool and Deadpool 2. So you and I rewatched all of them except New Mutants because we ran out of time in preparation for this movie. And quite honestly, I'm glad we did that just for that after the credits scene because that was awesome.
Well,
dude.
no, if anybody hasn't seen it who's watching this, watching through the X-Men movies was a huge help for me in enjoying this film. And I think you and I both kind of anticipated that to be the case. Because you got to assume...
Right.
You got to assume, and they did this, that they're putting a cap on everything that came out before them.
Yeah.
If they didn't, it's going to be a real shit show trying to put all the pieces together.
Right. Because honestly, as of right now, the X-Men universe as we know it really petered out. We have Dark Phoenix, which sucked, which they said in an interview was going to be like their end game, and it was just like not a great movie.
Yeah.
And then after that, New Mutants came out, and that was also not great. But it's also like a weird spin-off-y thing, and it's just like, is this the legacy of the Fox X-Men universe?
Right.
And I think they really went out of their way to be like, nah, Deadpool and Wolverine is the legacy of the Fox X-Men universe. So much so that we got as many behind the scenes. Well, that's what's cool. So I have my P app that tells me when to go to the bathroom during the movie. I didn't actually end up getting up during this movie, which I was proud of myself for. But
oh yeah, I didn't notice that.
But there's you immediately right after the movie ended, you were like, do you know how many scenes there are? I was like, there's 2. And you knew that I knew that because of that app. That app literally told me like the first one is. It said the second one is a minute-long scene. The first one is a montage of outtakes from the old X-Men movies. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool, I guess. I didn't expect... I thought it was going to be, like, bloopers. It was, like, never before seen behind the scenes. It was like Ian McKellen putting the helmet on for the first time. It was like McAvoy and Fassbender like meeting on set for the first time. It was a lot. It was really cool. I really appreciated that.
I did too. I know I'm clearly very new to the Fox X-Men.
I mean new, but like you saw them all, you know?
Yeah, I did see them all, and I could appreciate that end scene, which was really cool.
Apparently, as we all know, Lady Pool was Blake Lively, but apparently, Kid Pool and Baby Pool were also their children.
Oh, that's cute. Tom Holland's brother was also one of the Deadpools.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know Tom Holland had an acting brother.
I don't think he technically does, except until now.
Okay. Yeah.
But Ryan Reynolds didn't even know that. He found out afterwards.
Oh, interesting. Interesting how Hollywood works sometimes.
Yeah. Which I thought was really cute.
One of the Deadpools that like didn't get a lot of screen time was like a wizard. He looked like the Shazam wizard from the Shazam movies.
So I know DC did that run of like medieval shit. I don't know if Marvel ever had an answer or a response to that with a run of medieval shit, but like there's the Deadpool.
They don't really. I don't. If they so they have 1602, which obviously there was that 1602 episode of What If. That was nothing like the book. The book is way better.
Okay.
So that's as close as you're going to get. There's also, it's called like Amazing Fantasy. It's not medieval. It's more like before that, like talking like caveman times, give or take. But yeah, I don't think they have like a, what if Marvel was Knights of the Round Table, you know?
That was cool, though. I also wanted more out of that Deadpool. Also, for a split second, so they get into this big fight with all the other Deadpools.
The Deadpool core, which I can't even believe they called it that. Obviously, it's called that, but like that is such a... Remember how when Multiverse of Madness came out and he was like, we're the Illuminati, and I was like, everyone calm down. That's from the comics. That's from the comics. I know it's a ridiculous name. Deadpool core to me is just so silly. I was like, why would you call it that on screen?
There was a scene, though, after the fight, after everybody's been fought, where they show Samurai Deadpool, essentially.
Yeah.
And he's got little baby arms, and in my head, I was like, that's just how they look in his universe, huh? But no, that's because he just probably got his arms off in the fight, and they're growing back.
Yeah. I do wish, if any Deadpool that I wanted more screen time, it's definitely I believe he's referred to as the Quick and the Deadpool. The cowboy version.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
I would have liked to have seen more of him because that is
I wanted either the samurai or the wizard, like you said.
Yeah.
Those two, I really
there
want
were
to know
some really
more about.
cool ones. A lot of them were just like Deadpool but different. Deadpool but girl, which is, cool for its own reasons.
But flying head, which I believe is from the comics.
The flying head, yes, the flying head Deadpool.
He's got a whole thing, right? He's like, I can't remember. Isn't he like end of the world?
I don't know.
I remember. So I think he came out when I was doing my stint as as somebody who worked at a comic shop.
Yeah.
And I feel like they were doing a run where it's the end of the world, and that's Deadpool's lot.
I mean, if you want to talk about like alternate time periods, Marvel does end of the world all the goddamn time.
Yeah. If I'm wrong, chat, let me know. But
no, that's from a thing, definitely.
Yeah, no, I believe he's Thanos' jester, but I could totally be wrong.
Okay.
But we can't go any further without talking about Dogpool.
Oh my God! Voted the United Kingdom's ugliest dog in her first starring role. It's Dogpool. She was great.
She was awesome. I really thought there was a bunch of CGI.
Oh,
there was none.
That dog just looks like that. Unfortunately, or fortunately for her acting career.
Even the hair.
Oh yeah, no, that's all. Crazy. That's 100% Dogpool.
One thing I was a bit like, okay, I don't love that the friends didn't get as big of a part in this movie as they have the past two.
It kind of, from the trailers, you could tell that they wouldn't.
Yeah.
But it is an odd choice, especially to bring back like the guy from Mortal Kombat. He's got red hair. His name's like Scream or something like that.
Why would
And like all the like the Colossus CGI for that one scene. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, Colossus, I needed Colossus. I would have been in an uproar if Colossus didn't show up. He's probably my favorite
but
character from that series.
I think that a version of this movie exists where you could just cut out that scene and have them, because there's such a small, like bring Marina Baccarin back for the whole, because the plot of him trying to like impress her and become an Avenger was really cool and I think well needed. But yeah, it's just bringing them all back just for like 1.5 scenes was a little interesting to me.
Yeah. Just to tease them was kind of like, all right. Well, I mean, you got like 6 X-Men in there.
Yeah.
They could probably help out in the situation that's happening right now.
So I have an opinion.
Okay.
There's one character that I think is missing from this movie. So in the movie, he meets like the Resistance. Mm-hmm. And the Resistance is X-23, mm-hmm. Elektra, Blade, Gambit, and the Human Torch. Of all the characters that they could have brought back, based on the theme of this group, I think that it would have been really cool if Nicolas Cage's Ghost Rider showed up.
That would have been cool. I don't think they were willing to pay Nick Cage whatever he would have wanted to
Well,
be in it.
we'll talk about this later, but they're willing to pay RDJ what he wants.
So we are going to talk about that later. That's a cry for help, but we will talk about that later. No, I don't think they were going to pay Nicolas Cage whatever his guarantee is.
It's just a little silly to me that of the two most recent multiverse movies, one for DC and one for Marvel, one of them has Nicolas Cage as a character, and it's not the one you think.
Right.
Because
No, that's
fuck
fair.
it. Because this Flash movie,
Well, again,
the
DC,
rules of this Flash movie are fuck it and fuck you.
So we saw Marvel's cry for help, right? I would argue that was DC's cry for help.
I just can't. If I can actually talk about that movie for a sec, because I recently watched it for the first time, I just can't believe that fucking movie. I just can't believe that movie. I just can't believe what they did in that movie.
He's gonna save it. Our good Lord and Savior, James Gunn.
Is he? Because Peacemaker Season 2 just got announced, and that's in the universe of The Suicide Squad, which is different from the animated Harley Quinn show that keeps continuing, and the Kite Man show that just released. But also, they're making a Penguin show, which takes place in the live-action Robert Pattinson The Batman universe, where they got Colin Farrell, a skinny guy, to play a fat guy, because why not, I guess? Why would we cast
Didn't
someone
he
who's
say
actually...
it was gonna take a while?
I know, but it's gonna take a while. But like, Superman, the new Superman movie, just wrapped like 2 days ago.
That's gonna be the hard start, right, for the new stuff?
You'd think, but like, what it seems like these shows are gonna continue. Like, the goal of a show is to get a season 2, right? Is the Penguin really just gonna be one season that takes place in the Robert Pattinson thing, and then
the way I'm picturing it is maybe because they want content to release now till their hard reboot. I think they got to keep making content that isn't utilizing A-list actors that they can just pump out, and then it's done. And then they had enough stuff to get them over the finish line to the new Superman movie.
Oh, and the Joker. There's a Joker movie.
Well, that was always going to happen.
It didn't have to, though. But looking at the trailer, knowing what I know about these movies, it didn't have to. That movie's a musical, by the way, a full-throated musical. It seems like the new trend in Hollywood is, if it's a musical, just don't tell them. Wicked gets a pass because we all know it's supposed to be a musical, but just don't tell them. Joker 2 is a full-throated musical.
I don't love that because I am not a huge musical fan, if I'm being honest. I'm not a huge musical fan unless I've consented to watching a musical.
Literally, dude, it keeps happening. Wonka was a musical. Mean Girls was a musical. Fucking Wicked. Obviously, Wicked is a little different, but Wicked's a musical. And this is gonna be a musical. The Joker Folia Do, which is a dumb name for a movie. And also, it just came out that she's not actually playing Harley Quinn. Anyways, back
do
to
we want to keep talking
back
Deadpool?
Back to Deadpool and the Wolverine. So
I'm listening.
It was just really good. It was just really good. I really so we haven't talked about this yet. I really, really liked Emma Corrin as
she did phenomenal.
Cassandra Nova. So they them pronouns.
Oh, okay.
For Emma Corrin.
Didn't know that.
I didn't either until I looked some stuff up for this movie. But yeah, they recently played Princess Diana on the Crown, I believe it's called.
Well, I was wondering where I had seen them from, and it was bothering me. I was in the theater and I was like,
"Well, it's hard to tell with the baldness."
Yeah, well, that's what was throwing me off, and I almost to a point where I was like, "Are they in a show where they play this character?" And I just haven't seen it.
Yeah.
But I watched all of The Crown.
Oh, see, I didn't know that.
That's where I was like, I know this face.
Yeah.
I know who
they
I'm
play
looking
Princess Diana, and then it's my understanding that The Crown recasts each season, so she's replaced with Elizabeth Debicki, who plays Gold Mom from Guardians 3.
Season. It's not every season.
You know what I'm talking about? You know Alan Warlock's mom.
That fucked me up because they both did a pretty good job.
Yeah, from what I've heard, yeah.
So I was like, because the Crown does recast a lot because it's the same family.
Yeah,
decades and decades.
Yeah.
But that.
Yeah, I saw that they got.
That's right. They did recast.
They got Professor Umbridge as Queen Elizabeth.
Yes, she did. She did a great job.
But is it always what's that dude's name from played Lord Farquaad? John Lithgow. Is it always John Lithgow as Churchill?
Yeah, because I mean,
nice.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Churchill was an old man when
right.
Elizabeth was like 26.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's always he plays Farquaad.
Yes, John Lithgow is Lord
Well, now
Farquaad.
I got to rewatch all the Crown. Thanks.
You're welcome.
But no, they did a phenomenal job.
Yeah.
I really want to see more of that. And
I
know we probably won't because this is like a
right.
wrap up. But like, holy shit, that was
so. What I really appreciated, I love when actors and actresses do the extra step when they do more work than is like asked of them. Perfect example. They told Chadwick Boseman he didn't have to do an African accent, and he was like, "Fuck that! I'm gonna like." Hired like 3 different dialect coaches so I can know the specific African tribe that I'm trying to emulate. So they, Emma Corrin, they basically rewatched all the X-Men movies and studied Patrick Stewart's portrayal of Charles Xavier, because while they're not playing a variant of Charles Xavier, it's basically like, that character is basically like, what if Charles Xavier was female and evil? So I really
you could tell you could feel it.
Yeah.
Which, it's funny you say that because I feel like they did a very good interpretation of the younger guys. I feel like watching that. Well, you know what? Too, he got better at playing Charles via
James McAvoy.
James McAvoy did a better job at playing Charles as it got on. And
it's almost very similar to Ewan McGregor playing Obi-Wan.
Exactly. Well, he got more and more Patrick Stewart because he almost had to. It was coming up on like, well, in 10 years, you're going to be Patrick Stewart. So you kind of need to really...
Do you want to know what probably helped that? Acting opposite Patrick Stewart as the same character in that one scene.
Right.
Which I can only assume they filmed in the same room together.
But Emma Corrin really felt like they were giving the same energy that he was in the latter of his X-Men movies. Yeah. Which I appreciated. I thought it was really good. They felt like they fit right into that family of that family now. I was going to say of the same person, but officially 2 different people. Yeah.
It's so busted because you hear about Cassandra Nova, right? And you're like, "Oh, I've never heard that Charles Xavier has like a twin sister." And it's like, yeah, her backstory.
Also, why a different name?
I just assume, because I assume that it's a fake name. I assume that it's a name she gave herself because as the story
she was
goes,
never born.
As the story goes, they were twins in the womb together, and then I'll get to this part in a sec. He does a thing. She is basically killed, and I don't know the connecting part, but essentially she like as a weird unborn fetus like grows into Cassandra Nova and is like, I'm evil now. But knowing what you know about Professor X, you're like, oh, I bet he like melted her brain or stopped her from existence. No, he just fucking strangles her. It's like 2 babies like punching each other. It's like the most metal comic like 4 comic panels I've ever seen. It's just like fucking unborn baby Charles Xavier being like, get the fuck out of here. This is my turf.
Damn.
Crazy. It's crazy. It's truly crazy.
We're coming down to about 13 minutes. Did we want to switch? Did we want to wrap up Deadpool and switch over to San Diego Comic-Con?
Yeah. Well, are we trying to fit an hour, or are we comfortable going a bit over?
We go a bit over.
Because I did want to, if I may, I just want to. I would love to complain about movie trailers for a moment. Because we had to sit through so fucking many of them.
That's partly my fault. Somebody, next time we go to a movie, remind me that the time on the ticket means you got a half hour to get there.
Dude, it's not your fault. Maybe it is like 1% your fault but no, we should be on time for a movie. It's the fault of the movie theaters for having a full half hour of trailers, and fucking every fucking trailer is just like, a trailer for like the shittiest movie I've ever fucking seen. And every fucking trailer, I'm like, we're seeing an MCU movie. I still haven't seen a trailer for Captain America 4. We're gonna see that. So every time a new trailer started and it wasn't that, I was like, cool, at least two more trailers to sit through. I can't believe they're making another fucking movie where the whole movie it's a horror movie and the main monster is just James McAvoy. Then why do they keep doing that? He's just a dude who can like look creepy at the camera. And this is like the third or fourth movie where it's just like, oh, it's a brutal psychological horror movie and the main villain, just normal James McAvoy showing up to work. It's just at every trailer I was like,
seems like you need to talk about this.
What was the we saw quite a few trailers for quite a few movies.
Yeah.
The only one that I really gave a shit about was Alien Romulus. It looks so good. It's going to be a horror movie again. They got the guy who did the 2013 Evil Dead. It looks fucking crazy. Every other trailer, I'm struggling to remember exactly what they were because it's been quite a while. But I feel like there was definitely a kids movie in there where I was just like, why am I seeing this?
There was Wicked.
Wicked looks. Am I crazy that Wicked doesn't look good? I know that you and I have never read the book or watched the play, but like, I know enough about it. Also, the thing about fucking Wicked, it's part 1.
Yeah.
There's going to be a Wicked Part 2 like Dune. I don't know. They keep lying about that, too. Call it Wicked Part 1. So my expectation... I'm a 50-year-old so-and-so who loved Wicked on Broadway. I go to see the movie 3 hours later. We're half into the story. I'm like, what the fuck? I didn't know this was a Part 2 because why would I?
Right. Well, that's kind of like The Hobbit.
But they said they were very clearly like, we're making 3 movies. We know it's one book. Where they straight up like... We knew that Dune was going to be 3 parts. We knew that. But this movie is just called Wicked.
Right.
So what's the next one's going to be? I guess Wicked Part 2, right? That's how they do it now? But, like, nowhere in that trailer did it say that it was Part 1.
So I do want to, now that we're talking about trailers and stuff, I did have a very talkative older man
I noticed that, yeah, he shut up when the movie started, yeah?
Yeah, he did.
Okay, cool.
No, he did.
He seemed nice.
Yeah, he did. He definitely had some like middle-aged man energy about some stuff.
Oh, okay.
Wicked included. That trailer started, this dude did not hesitate. He was like, "The fuck is this shit?" He was just like not having it. Unfortunately, and I hated myself for this in the moment. I was like, I know I can put myself in his shoes. This man only knows of the existence of the Wizard of Oz.
Right.
And he's probably he does not know, like we do, like the real freaks, that there's like 40 fucking books in that series.
Right.
And he does not know.
Well, so there's 40 Wizard of Oz books. Not one of them is Wicked. Wicked is something else.
No. I know. But what I was getting at is he doesn't understand why there's so many.
So he sees Wicked and he thinks this is like Ghostbusters 2016. How could they do this to my baby?
Why did they keep making?
Yeah.
Well, he's probably like the Wizard of Oz came out in fucking 38. Give it a rest.
Yeah, 39, I believe.
But well, fuck you. Look it up. It's 38, you piece of shit.
It famously came out in 39. It lost the Oscar to Gone to the Wind.
Oh, I think we've fought about this, and you were right, but I still want clarification.
Wizard of Oz, 1939, family musical from Warner Brothers Interactive. Okay.
But then you get Return to Oz. You get all the bullshit. You get the one that George Lucas took out his wallet to make.
Oh, that is Return to Oz.
That is Return to Oz.
But then there was that shitty...
There's other shit.
There's Oz the Great and Powerful, which is a terrible film, which is basically like...
But then isn't there a TV show, too?
Oh, there's a few, but none of those are...
But my point is, this poor fucking guy has known about the Wizard of Oz his entire life, and as far as he's concerned, it's the only movie that's ever fucking existed in the series, and the only one that ever should. And in my head, he says, "What the fuck is this shit?" And I'm like... I know what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't, and I'm not about to sit here and turn we're sitting here. I'm not about to be like, well, you see.
Well, yeah. Well, it was a book, and the book took off, so there was a musical.
So,
you actually came in at just the right time. We are technically officially done talking about Deadpool and Wolverine. We're talking about the shitty trailers we had to sit through.
And this one guy. So he started and he said something funny, and I didn't realize it. There was a sports commercial It wasn't even a trailer.
Oh, right. It was.
a
Yeah, there was some
commercial.
actual commercials
And
before
he
the
said
trailer
something
started.
funny, and I realized it was because he hated the athlete on the TV and not because it would be funny. And that's kind of
okay.
how this accidentally started. He was like, he should miss, and I was like, that would be hysterical.
Oh.
And he was like, he fucking sucks.
Oh yeah, it
And
was
I
it was an Olympics ad because you can live watch the Olympics at AMC or something like that, right?
Really? Okay, I don't know.
Yeah.
But then he was like, he fucking sucks, and in my head I was like, oh, I've jumped into the deep end. I've unintentionally jumped into the deep end, and I had to explain. I was like, I don't listen. We're here to watch Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear no fucking sports out of you, boy.
Yeah. So
And he was very chill about
I
that.
really don't love. Also, the you remarked on this, and I was going to if you didn't. Movie theaters used to be cold. Like
Holy
this room
shit.
we're in right now is kind of what I expect from any given movie theater. That room
I
was
am
like
trying to make this our own personal theater.
that
That's part of the ambiance.
the theater we were in was like hot. Like it wasn't.
No, it was, I think, and it's unfortunate, but I think it's because we got the matinee. I don't think they turned that shit. We got a matinee on like a fucking Sunday.
But that's the part of the day when it's the hottest.
No, I hear you.
It cools down,
But
and
I don't think they're gonna have more people later that day. So if they piss us off at 12, they pissed off 15 people. If they piss everybody off,
But
at
our theater
12,
was basically full.
Sorry, I mean 7. They're pissing off like 200 people.
I just
I
think
hear
it
you.
should be on a case-by-case basis. Oh, this theater's almost full.
But
Yeah,
then,
turn them
but
on.
Then it's gonna take. It probably won't. We probably won't even feel it till halfway the movie. You know. To them,
Maybe,
that's
I don't
probably
know.
not worth it. To me, are you shitting me? I would have liked to have had it on the second we walked in.
Right.
If I could go to the guest desk and be like,
Yeah,
please, AC, please.
yeah.
They should put that on the ticket. Fucking charge us for everything we already are.
Oh, I know,
You
right?
want an AC'd room?
Yeah.
That's $2 extra.
Right. Yeah. No, just the state of theaters in general. That mixed with the trailers and it's just a lot of. I know that the theaters are not making as much money as they did because of COVID and streaming services, but I was just like, one, can we get to the movie? 2, most of these trailers are for movies I will not see because they look bad, and 3, I'm fucking dying. It's hot in here.
Well, I was just we get through the Wicked trailer, right?
Yeah.
And the gentleman next to me, I think, has had enough, and he keeps checking his phone, and he's like, Jesus Christ.
Me too. I was doing that too. Also, the Wicked trailer, I don't know if you noticed this. Maybe it wasn't even the one we watched, but I saw like a TV ad for Wicked earlier in the week. There's a shot of the trailer where they show Dorothy and the gang walking to the Emerald City. That's not going to be in this movie.
No.
Right? This is a prequel? Right?
I mean, I guess they could do whatever the fuck they want, but...
Dorothy is not going to show up, though.
I hear you.
That's not... I don't think she's a part of Wicked.
I don't think so either.
But why? It was just to confuse the narrative for specifically this dude even more. It's just like, what the fuck is Dorothy doing there?
Well, that's what I'm saying, is this confused older guy was just like, I don't understand this world anymore. And I'm just like, I get you. Unfortunately, all this took place before either of us were born.
Yeah.
This was set in motion in 1939, and you nor I can stop it.
Yeah.
Not that I dislike Wicked. I could sympathize with. I have the knowledge as to why I'm watching. It's 2024, and I'm seeing this Wicked commercial.
Right.
This poor guy, though, is just like, it's a movie that came out almost 100 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, but fucking learn your shit. One last thing about this fucking dude, and then we'll talk.
Sure.
Then we'll talk about San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah.
You got up to go to the bathroom, right?
Before the movie
And they were
started.
reclining because we were in one of those theaters.
Oh, did I get a complaint?
No.
Oh, okay.
He was trying to sit back up for you, accidentally pressed more fucking forward right as you were going by.
I didn't even notice.
And, well, you go by, and he was like, he was like worried, and I was like, you can just knock him over. And he was like, I almost did.
Nice.
I almost not, and you would have fell like
no,
5 feet down.
And
to the next
I
row.
didn't care to communicate this to them, but I had enough. They didn't have to move at all. I had enough room to walk by just fine.
No, they were just being polite.
Yeah,
which
no, and I appreciate that, but it sounds like I almost died.
Yeah, no, you almost got fucked up. Which I've been meaning to tell you, and now is when I'm telling you.
Yeah. So
yeah.
San Diego Comic-Con, 3, sticking with the theme. We just watched Deadpool and Wolverine, the latest MCU movie. There was really 4 MCU projects talked about.
Yeah.
The new Captain America movie, which it looks great. It looks fine. They didn't have much to say about that. It's almost out.
Can I say if we're just gonna
go for it?
So I just saw an interview about Harrison Ford. This dude got to stop being in fucking nerd shit if he's not gonna be part of any part of the
I'm
fandom.
sorry, Chris. Are you talking about the new greatest interview of all time?
Are you Okay, let me tell you the one I'm referring to, and I'm curious about the one you're referring to. This woman was like, "Are you so relieved you can finally let people know about Red Hulk?" And he was like, "I honestly did not think about it in the slightest."
Oh, okay.
Okay, hold on. I'm curious what yours is, but she was just so like, "Man, are you so relieved you can tell people finally that Red Hulk's going to be in the movie?" And he's like, "I guess I didn't make myself available to have people question me on that. I genuinely forgot that was something I couldn't talk about."
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, I did see a short interview where he straight up didn't know he was going to be red. He thought he was going to be green. But the interview I'm talking about is he was interviewing for like a fucking magazine or whatever, and it was one of those interviews where it was like all of them. Like he was sitting next to. So 2 things about this interview. One, the interviewer was talking to Harrison Ford, and Harrison Ford, this is very cool of Harrison Ford, was basically like, ask these questions to him because he's the main character.
Oh, that is cool.
So, but later on in the interview, I did not watch the whole thing, but later on in the interview, this fucking interviewer asks, like, he asks, like, deals better with snakes, Indiana Jones or Thaddeus Ross, the character you're playing in this movie? And Harrison Ford was basically just like, I've done a lot of these, and, I never know what you guys are going to ask me, but I will not be answering that stupid question.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
You can see, what's that dude? The guy playing the leader, he's from Ballad of Buster Scruggs. His name is, I forget his name, but you can see him like trying not to crack up in the background, just like knowing that Harrison Ford is absolutely not going to, amuse this person's stupid fucking question.
See, if I was ever going to interview Harrison Ford, you really got to lay off the nerd shit. He does not give a fuck.
Yeah.
He's not a nerd.
Now, Harrison Ford, how is it like working with Anthony Mackie? Is an appropriate question.
Sure.
Not Harrison Ford, what's your favorite Red Hulk comic?
Right. Harrison Ford, if Han Solo and Captain Marvel fucked.
Yeah, exactly.
He doesn't give a shit about any of it. He does not care.
No.
He doesn't want to hear what you think about it. He just wants to make money, which I can respect. And I guess now that I'm thinking about it, it's not so much a Harrison Ford problem as it is just stop fucking asking him questions he's not going to give a shit about.
Oh, yeah.
Or are we just doing it for the meme now?
I mean, if that's the case, like, mission accomplished, because I saw that video, but not the full interview.
I saw him do the most nerdy-ass thing he's ever done at San Diego Comic-Con when he came out. And he pretended to stomp around. Like
oh yeah, I saw that. That also took me by surprise.
He must
I was
have been on something. I was just like, wow, you actually acknowledged the character that you played?
Right, yeah.
That's not like you.
No, I wonder if he's ever been main stage at Hall H, because he seemed like he was having a good time, or they drugged him and said, "You're gonna act normal this time. You're gonna
pretend like you're happy about the $60 million you made to be Red Hulk or whatever the fuck."
So that movie's coming out. We also have the Thunderbolts movie. Apparently, con-goers got to see a trailer. We'll see it in the next coming weeks. But that movie, the new hot news on that movie is the plot, and the plot is.
I don't think you've said which movie yet.
Thunderbolts?
Oh, sorry.
So the plot of that one, that's the one where it's like Winter Soldier and Red Guardian and Evil Captain America, whatever he's called.
In Florence Pugh.
Yes, yeah, exactly. So all the plot of that movie is that all the individual members of the Thunderbolt get the same mission, and when they go on this mission, they're all like there all of a sudden. Basically, the mission was supposed to fail, and I think that they're all supposed to die, and then they're like, now we're the Thunderbolts. That's basically the plot of the whole film. And then they talked about Fantastic Four, which I'm very excited about. They revealed that the Fantastic Four is going to be set in an alternate, and we're going to talk about this a bit later. It's going to be set in an alternate universe in the 1960s.
I mean, we kind of got that vibe from the posters.
Yes, yeah. Well, yeah, absolutely. But I wasn't sure exactly what they were doing with that. But yeah, there was a trailer. It was for congoers only. But apparently they show Galactus at some point, which sounds pretty cool. It was very it had space race vibes. It seems like they are unfortunately doing the Fantastic Four origin story again. But it seems like
if they do it,
no, if they do it good, yeah,
different or better.
That's always my thing. The whole point of the second take at Fantastic Four was it was an origin story again, and it was that movie. I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's very clearly half the movie is really good, and then it's here's where Sony stepped in and said make a superhero movie, and the rest of it's bad.
Yeah.
So, we're going to talk about that in a bit because I have a theory that I want to talk about with a few things. But the biggest announcement was that it's no longer called Avengers 5 is no longer called Avengers King Dynasty. It's going to be called Avengers Doomsday, and then Secret Wars is still going to be called Secret Wars. And as I'm sure everyone watching is already knows, they cast Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom. So they announced earlier in the week that the Russo brothers, who directed Winter Soldier, Civil War, Infinity War, and Endgame, are going to direct these two Avengers movies. That I didn't have a problem with. But then they announced that Robert Downey Jr. is going to play Dr. Doom, and I have opinions.
I have opinions too. I'm not so. I see. I think you might be coming out guns a-blazing on this, and I can respect that. I don't think I'm
coming around to it, but I definitely, when I first saw that, I was like, this is fucking dumb.
Well, see, my thought was not, this is so fucking dumb. My thought was, oh no, I've been contemplating this the past 2 years, and this confirms it. Marvel shitting their pants. Mm-hmm. They were like, we did Endgame, we can do no wrong. This next thing, we're going to do whatever the fuck we want. And people were like, wow, 80% of this sucks. Maybe you guys should watch your asses. And
that's what people are saying, and I think you'll agree with me. It's not 80. Most of it's been good. A lot of it's been good. I would disagree.
I don't care for a lot of the shows.
Fuck the shows. I don't care about the shows.
The shows are 50% of the content that they're putting out now.
Well, that
for every movie we
get,
there's
but
a
that's
show.
Their fault, though. I feel like
it is, but it's still the case.
Okay, well, if you consider all the shows, then yeah, it's like a good 50-50. But I still think 80 is a little much.
Well, I didn't like the Eternals.
Nobody did.
What else are we talking about? Thor
was terrible. Eternals was terrible. There was 2 Spider-Mans, Far From Home and No Way Home.
Both Spider-Men were great.
There was Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
That was also great.
There was Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
That was great.
There was Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
That was good.
There was Black Widow, which is okay.
That was also good. There was also Black Panther 2, which
I did not like at all.
Okay, if we're talking films,
and then of course Deadpool and Wolverine.
Right. If we're talking films, this was a pretty stellar part 5. But the issue is, for every movie, there's 2 fucking TV shows.
Yeah.
For every movie, we've got 2 fucking TV shows, and the issue is that's most of the content that I've been receiving from Marvel. So
I did forget one, the Marvels with Captain Marvel, and
that was okay. Okay.
I really liked that one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's fine. See? That's okay. But if you sit here and tell me that fucking the Miss Marvel TV show was awesome, I'm going to be like, well, I think you're wrong.
Right.
I think you might need to reconsider what you think is a good Marvel content.
So Mason Drizzle from Thunder Lightning Gaming brings up a great point. Knowing it's an alternate universe in the 60s, I'm more okay with it. He's a great actor. It's going to be fun. They have not confirmed that Robert Downey Jr. is going to be playing Dr. Doom in Fantastic Four.
Right. Which I wouldn't expect him to either.
But I just want more Shang-Chi. I also want more Shang-Chi.
Same.
I'm really
excited for the next Avengers.
I'm surprised and concerned that we haven't heard about Shang-Chi again, because there's going to be a Shang-Chi 2. It's already been greenlit.
Let me come back around to what I was saying.
Oh, go for it, yeah.
They came out, 80% of the content was shit when you bring the TV shows into it. because that's most of what we got this time around was TV shows. And
I still think 80 is a bit much. I would say
75.
I would say 60-40 if I'm being honest.
Okay, somewhere in there, a majority.
Yes,
majority.
We can agree it's a
was
majority.
shit. And I've been sitting here like, they're confident they're going to come back around. I think we've officially seen that they are shitting themselves.
No, this is
out of fear.
This is, as a lot of people have accurately put, this is cowardly.
Yeah.
This is.
Yep. That's exactly what it is. And not to say it won't be good.
No, it'll
that to say
probably.
it won't-
That's what's frustrating.
Yeah.
It'll probably be great.
But they got to let go of the training wheels. And they
Mhm.
tried it, and they tried it way too much, and they crashed and burned. Now they're
Backpedaling.
reverting a bit too much. This is a bit too much. You had Kang. The actor sucked. Good news, you've introduced the multiverse already.
Mm-hmm.
Just get fucking anybody else. We were all excited about it. Nobody was sitting here like, damn, Kang's gonna fucking suck.
Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania also.
Okay.
I really liked that movie.
I think I'd need to see it again. I've only seen it the once.
Me too.
It was definitely
Same.
good. It was definitely gets good.
Yeah.
But
that movie has the scene that is the biggest issue that you were just referring to. They showed trillions of Kangs.
a drop in the bucket when you're considering Infinite.
Right.
You could say that's every Kang that looks like that. There's still
Right.
infinite more of
Because
them.
you and I were recently talking about this. The whole point of Kang in the comics is that you don't know who it's going to be. There's many Kangs. They're all different. One of the Mr. Fantastics is Kang. If anyone knows the character Iron Lad, he's a Kang variant. Kang is just everywhere, and he always looks different. And in the comics, he's usually white. Clearly in the movies, he's not. But he could be whatever you... Literally recast
you
him
want.
as any character of any race or any gender.
Right.
It doesn't matter. It's Kang. Kang is, as people have pointed out, the most recastable character they have from the comics.
Make RDJ Kang.
Or that would play into the whole, like, there's an Iron character who's Kang in the, you know?
Yeah. My point, though, is they said, what are people going to be most hype about in this next coming chapter?
And they're going to be hype about the Russo brothers and Robert Downey Jr.
And probably the Fantastic Four. What's the biggest name? What's the biggest new name for us that we're dropping?
It's
the
that one,
Fantastic
for
Four.
sure.
What can we attach to that to make it more hype that people are going to enjoy it? I know. How's about the hero for the past 15
No, because that
years
is how the
bad guy?
conversation went of, like, hey, you like Fantastic Four, right? Well, you know who always fights them?
They literally just gave it to us, but in a much better form. They were like, we just acquired the X-Men. You know what you're fucking getting? Your favorite of all those fucking movies with your favorite of all those fucking movies. And that's going to be it. That's going to be the whole movie. And we ate it up. That's what we're sitting here talking about right now.
Yeah.
But this one just seems, like you said, it's the perfect word. This is way more cowardice. You giving us Deadpool and Wolverine is fan service, not cowardice. This is cowardice. This is, you could have given us anybody. You could have just recast Kang, but you didn't.
Yeah.
You just gave us the biggest IP you're going to be releasing soon with the biggest name attached to the MCU.
So here's, if I may,
Yeah.
here's why I'm coming around to it.
No,
because
it'll be great.
I was very against it. I was like, this is stupid. I don't want this. I don't think people want this. Just hire. So I was like very much against it. I am starting to come around, and here's why. I've watched a few videos on it now. These are not my own. These are not just my own thoughts. These are other people's thoughts as well. But it would appear as though the Fantastic Four, whether or not I think they're not in the 1960s. I think they're in an alternate. How do I explain this the best way? I think
a universe where it's always the 1960s?
No, but a universe where it's the 1960s now. So if universe hopped, it would be 2024 modern day MCU, right? So here's what I'm thinking, because that was my biggest question before I knew it was going to be an alternate universe. I was like, how the fuck are they going to do the Fantastic Four in the 60s, and then no one talks about Galactus it seems like there was the Captain America, Captain Marvel, and then there was a huge superhero. Anyways, so the fact that it takes place in an alternate dimension, alternate universe, I think it's probably one where it's the 60s now, right?
That makes sense.
So, assuming RDJ is in this movie as Dr. Doom, it would appear as though, and I could be totally wrong, this is all speculation, but it would appear as though this Fantastic Four movie is going to end with Galactus destroying their universe, and then they escape to the MCU universe, right? So here's what people are thinking, and here's what I'm thinking too. If Robert Downey Jr. is Dr. Doom in the Fantastic Four's Earth, if Fantastic Four makes their way over to our universe, obviously Dr. Doom is going to follow because it's called Avengers Doomsday. They meet up with Wong. Perfect character for this. Mm-hmm. They meet up with Wong. Maybe it's even a post-credit scene. And they're like, Galactus is coming. He just ate our universe. We're stuck here. We're all superheroes. Trust us, whatever. But then here comes Dr. Doom. I'm Wong. I don't know that Dr. Doom is evil. He looks like Tony Stark.
Right.
Who do I trust?
Well, not only that's a great theory. I also think introducing an evil RDJ is going to... You got an incredible Spider-Man plot line you could run with that.
Right.
You've got an incredible not MJ.
Pepper Potts.
Pepper Potts.
No, there's going to be a lot of characters who are going to have a difficult time dealing with the fact that he looks like Tony Stark. Right. Literally, fucking War Machine... I know Secret Invasion was really bad. You saw it, right? Mm-hmm. War Machine wakes up to a brand new world. Iron Man's dead. He didn't know that.
Yeah.
He's been in, stasis or whatever ever since Civil War or whatever.
Right.
So he wakes up, oh my God, my best friend is dead. I've been a Skrull this whole time, I guess. And now here comes someone with his face. I guess I'll trust him.
Oh, yeah. No. It's going to make for a very interesting story.
Also,
it just feels manipulative.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, if we're really having two conversations right now, one is the business production side of it, and one is the in-universe.
Out of universe, had they had a stellar past 4 years and they announced this, I'd be none the wiser. I wouldn't think twice. But coming off the tails of probably their rockiest... I don't want to call it a phase anymore because they don't want to use that term. But coming out of their rockiest chapter,
no, it's a little.
To get this,
yeah.
It's like, yeah, that's where you want to go.
Also, if I can, something that would be cool, if it really is just fuck it, there's no rules. It's the multiverse, baby. We could do whatever we want. I think it would be really cool even if only for a brief moment, if we had Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom versus Chris Evans as the Human Torch.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
That's Iron Man and Captain America, but not really.
Right.
But they're fighting like they did in Civil War, but it's not really them. But it's these legacy characters that always fight each other, but they look like this now.
No, that would be really cool.
It's not. That's why I'm coming around to it. It's not all bad. I think if even
in universe, it's a pretty cool concept.
No, yeah, and I think if they play with even a fraction of what we have theorized on this couch, it's going to be really cool. It's just like looking on the other side of it. It's so like sus. I don't even know a better word for it. It's just them giving up. It, like you said, it's them being like, shit. Well, that didn't work. Go back, bring it back.
Yeah.
Because if you remember, a few years ago, this didn't end up happening. Thank fucking Christ. But a few years ago, there was a rumor that they were going to make like a multiverse version of the Avengers where they're all played by the same actors they were played originally, and it's just a new Avengers movie with the old cast because we fucked up. Sorry. And it's just like, please don't do that.
Right. What would have made all this much cooler? What would have made all this much cooler is had they not just replaced the Kang movie with this. Instead, we're like, hey, we're taking a little break from Kang. We got to refigure out what we're doing with Kang. In the meantime, we're going to introduce this concept. And both they might run together.
And they could still be doing that. But they went out of their
out of their way to not say that that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
They went out of their way to be like, forget that.
Right.
Look at this. And it's like, I'm an adult. I know these movies are probably geared towards children still to some degree.
Oh, yeah. Not the one we saw.
No,
just
no.
now, not the one we were talking about
But,
this
like-
podcast.
But like
yeah.
you've got to accept that your demographic is much larger than just that. I'm an adult. Just tell me what I can expect.
Right. Yeah.
I'm a shareholder. Tell me what I can expect. You know
Right.
what
Right.
which maybe they're getting a different story. No, fuck that. I have Disney stock. Fucking tell me what's going on. But
Yeah, Marvel's always been a little cagey about what they tell and what they don't tell, and like when it's okay to spoil stuff versus, I don't know. I'm not, and this is the upsetting part. This whole we're chickening out, we're just bringing Robert Downey Jr. back again. It's cowardly. It's chickening out. It's sus. It doesn't surprise me. I'm kind of sitting here like, I fucking knew you'd do something like that.
So here's the thing, right? Jonathan Majors, in the universe where Jonathan Majors doesn't fucking suck,
Right.
I think they were still gonna have the upwards tick that they were hoping for. It seems like the quality's getting better. I think they realized they spammed us with TV shows that didn't quite have the content we were hoping for.
Yeah, notice how there has been, I think, one trailer for one new TV show in the last, 6 months.
Yeah.
And other than that, we were getting
crazy.
I think the Miss Marvel came out a week or 2 weeks after Moon Knight. It was crazy out there for a bit.
No, we were getting spammed with content, and the quality had a dip, clearly, in the TV show aspect, which sucks because that was the new thing that they were bringing into this part. But I think had we stuck with Kang, I still think there was going to be a big uptick. It was too much of a correction. Still going to be cool. Still think there's a lot of cool things that they can do with it. But you set up this will be the first time they've ever set up a big bad and been like, actually, we're dropping the whole concept.
Yeah.
And it's like you didn't have to do that.
Right.
He sucked. Good news, get anybody else. If you want to introduce RDJ, that aside, you want to introduce RDJ as a bad guy, that sounds like a cool idea. You picked, like you said, this is a great word for it. You picked a sus time to do it in a very roundabout way if you're not planning to just forget Kang.
And here's the other thing. Sorry, I just thought it. Yeah, sorry. So, Cold Logic, welcome
Hey,
on in.
Cold Logic?
The Kang thing is very disappointing. You're coming in, unfortunately, on the tail end. We are about to wrap things up. But something that
thank you for joining.
Something that we haven't even talked about that I was thinking about the other day. You and I just watched a movie where a character showed up who was not leaked, played by Ryan Reynolds, and technically wasn't Deadpool, right? So,
Did?
Yeah, the nice pool character is what I'm referring to.
Sure,
You know what I mean? So you can't, if a character is going to show up, you can't leak them if they're played by an Iron Man's going to show up in this fucking movie.
Yeah,
Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man is going to show up at some point in Secret Wars.
You and I had talked about that, and it makes perfect sense. Of course, why wouldn't he?
Why wouldn't he? That would never leak.
It's a
Robert Downey
it's
Jr.
a CGI suit.
Robert Downey Jr. seen on the set of Avengers: Secret War.
Yeah, we already
no
know.
fucking shit. Yeah,
We're doing good, by the way, Cold Logic. Hope you're doing good too.
we're doing good relative. We're obviously not in the.
Yeah.
we had
The
a
internet
little-
is down at our usual spot.
Hopefully not anymore. Jesus Christ.
So we're
yeah.
in, technically, as far as they're concerned, we're in the monsoon cave,
Yeah, true. We were sabotaging
which is just my house.
monsoon set for our own cinematic needs. No, I was just sitting there thinking about it the other day, and I was just like, wait, my dude's gonna suit up as Iron Man at some point. Why fucking wouldn't he? Also, something to be said about I really feel like Robert Downey Jr., whether intentionally or not, was like, okay, now that I'm done being Iron Man, I'm gonna go get an Oscar, and he did. He played that fucking Doolittle character, and everyone was like, oh no, and then he was like, no, calm down. And then he was in Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
He won the Oscar for that. If you are an Oscar-winning actor, you can. It's like getting a your master's. You can ask for more money.
Yeah.
So that's absolutely what he did. He was like, all right, well, I did the Oscar thing. They want me back in the MCU. I can ask for more money now. I'm going to do that.
I'm sure you're right. You're right. I mean, that's why we're getting the third most paid actor in the world.
Yes.
He still probably would have made a shit ton because it's like, well,
of
I'm
course,
a
but now he
character
gets
of
to
the MCU.
Now he gets to make even
No,
more
yeah.
because he's got an Oscar under his belt.
He kinged himself. If it was,
He
if
did.
it was
Yeah,
checkers.
yeah, he did. He absolutely did. That's such a great analogy. Oh my god.
So it's like, and, you want me back? Well, now it's going to be even more than, when I didn't want to do it. And okay, so that actually brings up one of my concerns. So this we've already kind of, as far as we're concerned, pulled back the curtain on why this situation's happening.
Yeah.
How financially stable is having RDJ as the main bad guy going to be? If you're dropping $100 million every time he's going to show up,
Right.
your movie's got to fucking slap every time, and
right.
you got to pull everybody in to see him, which they're gonna this first time because it's Robert Downey Jr. back in the MCU.
Right.
Everybody who's ever seen a fucking Marvel movie is gonna show up to see this one,
Right.
Which is what
It
they're
can't
expecting,
right? Because
But that's gonna die off, and you still have to fucking pay him.
Because that's a great point you bring up. So Endgame, Avengers Endgame, is I believe still the highest budget movie of all time. The budget was $400 million.
Okay.
Most of that was paying actors, obviously. A lot of it was CGI. The movie made $2 billion.
Yeah.
So they got away with it. If this, like you said, is even a slight financial commercial hiccup, like they still have to pay RDJ.
Yeah. Hold on, we got. I know
he got a contract that gave him a percentage of the back end every time he was Iron Man in a movie. I wonder if that changes when he doesn't play. Well, I think that contract is up.
Yeah, I think
they
they
that
definitely
contract,
had to renew for this.
I think that contract, and I think
that's
this
why
was
he
the,
got out of.
I think this was right. I think this was the biggest like secret in the MCU. The reason that the surviving members of the Avengers in Infinity War was the main ones is because all their contracts were up.
Right.
And obviously that, things changed. Obviously, Chris Hemsworth got a new contract. Mm-hmm. I'm sure Scarlett Johansson was on the same contract for the Black Widow movie. But it was basically like, this is these actors' last hurrah.
Yeah.
At least for a large portion of them. So I think all contracts are like,
yeah.
I bet you Chris Evans had something in his contract that was like, can't do anything else Marvel for this, but now he can, and I'm trying not to we're done talking about Deadpool, so but yeah, it's just I think it's completely, that's a great point to bring that up. I think we're completely out of that and into something else. I think he probably signed new papers,
which, if I'm gonna guess, if he's making this amount and he's making it every time he's gonna appear as Dr. Doom, I doubt they're giving him any percentage of anything.
Well, that's what they didn't say, right? Is he getting the $100 million just for Doomsday, or is he getting $100 million for all 3 films, or is he going to get $100 million every time he plays Dr. Doom?
If it's $100 for 3 films, that would make a lot of sense. Do we have guarantee that he's going to be in 3 films as Dr. Doom already?
No, we only have hard confirmation for Avengers Doomsday, but Secret Wars is Doomsday. Like, he's going to be in Secret Wars for sure. He'll probably be in Fantastic Four because he's Dr. Doom.
Right.
But we technically have no way of knowing that. Because as of right now, all we know is the Fantastic Four is the 4 of them, and the main villain's going to be Galactus, which probably means the Silver Surfer is going to show up at some point. But no, you're right. As of right now, it's only been confirmed that he's going to play Dr. Doom in Avengers Doomsday. But I think it's heavily implied he's going to be in Secret Wars as well.
It's crazy.
There's a good comic run. Did I miss? No. Cold Logic, there's a good comic run where Dr. Doom becomes Iron Man for a while. Yes.
I heard about that.
So I've seen people bring this up as well. That's absolutely not what they're doing, because in that run, Dr. Doom, like, mind controls Tony Stark. It's just, like, so weird. It's, like, absolutely, definitely not what they're doing. But another thing that people are talking about is that Dr. Doom's whole origin and backstory and the reason why he's a villain is so cemented in the fact that he is Romani.
Yes.
But Robert Downey Jr. is not.
Right.
So I hope we get more John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic as well. Honestly, if it's fuck it, fuck you, no rule. There's no rules. We can do
you
whatever
can pop
we
up
want.
wherever.
Who's to say that if the Fantastic Four movie, which is called the Fantastic Four: The First Steps, which is a clear space metaphor, who's to say that they don't? If it is an origin story like we all think it is, who's to say they don't get their powers by traveling through the infinite multiverse and meeting different versions of themselves?
Right.
Like if we're in true blue fuck it mode, which will from now on be referred to as Deadpool and Wolverine mode, like, then yeah, absolutely get John Krasinski back as Mr. Fantastic. He wasn't great the first time, but and I think that was sort of the point. But like, yeah, fuck it, do it, everything you wanted, do it, just do it. Have 9 Reed Richards versus 4 Dr. Dooms.
I mean, I think with RDJ as Dr. Doom, we've hard confirmed it's fuck it, do whatever you want. Okay, yeah, I want to talk about the Dr. Doom costume that we've seen so far. I know that was just for San Diego.
Yeah.
I really, really hope that's not pretty much the final product.
Oh, no way.
It just fucking sucked. I mean, the art. Tell me if this makes sense. It can look like that. The quality's got to be upped 100%. It didn't look bad. The quality sucked.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. The other thing, too, about Dr. Doom, which is why I know they're not doing the original origin story, is that part of Dr. Doom's identity is that the metal mask is stuck on his face.
Right.
You're going to cast, fuck that it's Robert Downey Jr. You're going to cast the face of the person who played Iron Man and not show it? No,
Right.
they're absolutely going to show it.
Right.
So it's just going to be completely fucking off book, which is fine. I just really wish
I think I would be Dr. Doom too if I had a piece of fucking metal stuck right on my face.
Well, it's his own fault, but yeah, Dr. Doom's kind of a loser. When you really get down to it, kind of an idiot. But and obviously we know the character he's playing now. It's a character in Captain America: A Brave New World. I really wanted Giancarlo Esposito as Dr. Doom. I think that would have been really great.
Phenomenal. That would have been really cool.
He has, over the last, 15-ish years, cemented himself as
the bad guy.
The bad guy, yeah. He's a bad guy in Breaking Bad, a bad guy in The Boys, bad guy in The Mandalorian, bad guy in Far Cry.
He's actually not really the bad guy in The Boys. He's the bad guy for the bad guy.
Right. The main character in Boys is kind of the bad guy, right?
Yeah. Well, The Boys, they're actually called that. They're a unit. They're referred to as the Boys.
Right.
He is not one of those. He's one of the 7, which is like the Justice League. Giancarlo is the boss of the 7.
Oh, okay. So Justice League evil boys are like the Resistance, and Giancarlo is sort of Lex Luthor.
Lex Luthor, but a Lex Luthor that's it's hard to explain. I would call Giancarlo Esposito a good guy in that franchise.
Okay.
There are very few good guys in that franchise.
Okay.
So it's kind of, unless I'm forgetting something he did, of all of them.
No, and I am talking out my ass with that show in particular. I've not seen that show, but I saw one scene and I assumed he was the villain. But I guess it makes sense if, based on the scene I saw, that the Superman guy is the villain.
He is the villain.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
And he's like, oh my god, he's like, what's it called? Red Dawn Superman?
Red Sun
Superman. He's essentially that. But still in America.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Isn't his cape literally the American flag?
Yeah.
Cool. Good for that show. And comic series.
That's probably a good comparison, really.
The Lex Luthor to Giancarlo.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, that's going to do it for us, I think.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe.
Our channel has daily uploads from podcast video essays, Let's Plays to skits.
Be sure to watch on Twitch. We stream all our video game and podcast content live at 5 EST every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday.
Our intro is by Brad Kendrick and music by Froggy and the Friendship. Link to all that in the description below.
Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.